Hi, and welcome to my beta presentation. Throughout this presentation, I will discuss several aspects such as a recap of my digital artifact and what I plan on doing, the progress I have made so far, the engagement I intend on creating with my audience, the changes in iterations I have made due to the feedback, reflecting on research and lecture content, my DA focus, and my final steps I need to carry out before completing and publishing my digital artifact. As you can see on this slide, my digital artifact is examining the future of live music in 5 years' time. This will see me examine multiple aspects that will come into play in the near future. I've currently written my first blog post where I discuss the topic of live streaming music events and the implications of COVID-19 on live music events over the past year. Blog post 2 is still a week or two away, and I will conclude my digital artifact with a short 10-minute podcast. I hope that this digital artifact will be engaging and will make my audience think about all the different possibilities that technology will provide us for live music in the next 5 years. This is an overview of my digital artifact's core. I've split my digital artifact into 3 separate parts. Part 1 is my first blog post, which will see me discuss the live streaming music events. Blog post 2 will see me dive into the world of virtual reality, or VR if you will. Both of these blog posts will be backed up by extensive research and relates to lecture content. Finally, the third part of my digital artifact will be a short 10-minute podcast where I conclude my digital artifact and discuss my first 2 blog posts and the importance of my digital artifact and its concepts. So, as I mentioned before, my first blog post has been published and is available to read on my blog site. I have shared my first blog post on my Twitter account where I'm hoping to gain some engagement and feedback. Being a blog post, it can be rather difficult to engage with an audience unless you have a large following, which unfortunately I do not. I will also be reblogging all my content on the Future Cultures blog site, where hopefully it will gain more attention and gain more feedback from my fellow BCM students. Originally, I intended on creating 3 15 to 20 minute long podcasts on similar aspects of live music events. After submitting my pitch presentation and blog, I gained extensive feedback from my tutor and other BCM students. I then decided I can construct a stronger digital artifact by using more than one media source. First of all, 3 15 to 20 minute long podcasts would be too much work and way too long to be engaging to an audience. Secondly, producing 2 blog posts and finalizing with a short podcast gives a variety of media and an overall stronger digital artifact. Each blog post that I write will be backed up by extensive research on the topics. Blog post 1 saw me discuss multiple sources on how live streaming is here to stay and will become more common in the near future. Blog post 2 will reflect on multiple sources about virtual reality, as this concept is already happening in this day and age. Post 1 saw me reflect on content from week 4, specifically the concept of probable futures taken from Wendell Bell. In my second blog post about virtual reality, I will discuss content from week 10 around cyberspace and its relation to VR. The focus of my DA is quite simple. I intend on discussing relevant and engaging content in relation to the future of live music in 5 years' time, brainstorming what could be possible in 5 years' time and how it will be effective to live music fans. We're almost on the home stretch. 4 more weeks to go and it will mark the end of another semester. I still have a great deal to complete in those 4 weeks if I am to create an engaging and an effective digital artifact. I plan on having blog post number 2 published in week 11. This will give me 2 weeks to create the final podcast, wrapping my digital artifact up. I then will bring all the pieces of the puzzle together and submit my digital artifact at the end of week 13. Thank you all for listening.